It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
Hi, I'm Des Clark and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks for opinionated panellists to put it back together again. Joining me this week is comedian and author Andy Zaltzman, and with him is stand-up Susan Riddle, and facing off against them is stand-up and writer Olga Koch, and joining her is Scotland's premier blind comedian Jamie McDonald. In the news this week, Nicola Sturgeon said the behaviour of Rangers fans last weekend was disgraceful and selfish. Supporters responded by saying that they could not recollect the mass gathering and that their memories of the event were vague. BP have asked their staff to work from home 2 days a week. Many are happy to do so, but don't expect to find a lot of oil drilling through the kitchen floor. And the Royal Botanic Garden in Edinburgh is to be one of the venues for BBC TV's Antiques Roadshow later this year. Among those planning to attend is a motorist with a rare picture of a parking space seen in the city centre of Edinburgh from the 1960s. Right, you've met the panel. Let's crack on with round one. And this is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So Andy and Susan, can you tell me your first story, please?
Senior royals have been holding crisis talks. This is after
changes to Scotland's lockdown. In a statement at Holyrood,
Oprah Winfrey
said the changes are relatively minor.
Over 12 million people.
They're still being told to stay as close to
Buckingham Palace
as possible.
Susan, what about it? Any thoughts as to what the first story might be?
Prince Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was actually quite boring at bits. But it was a few. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, I just think, like, say what you want about Meghan, but, like, she's brought the monarchy to its knees. She's got Piers Morgan to leave GMB, and all of this was during lockdown while being pregnant. Do you know what I mean? I give myself a pat in the back if I remember to take the bins out and wash my hair once a fortnight.
Yes, it is the news that the much-anticipated interview of Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, has aired this past week. The couple spoke to Oprah Winfrey about racism, mental health, the media and other members of the royal family. On Tuesday, the palace released a statement saying that recollections may vary, but the matters discussed in the interview would be addressed privately. And speaking on a visit to East London, Prince William said that the royals are very much not a racist family, and he had yet to speak to his brother about the interview. Andy, did you watch it? What did you make of it?
No, I did not watch it, Des. I'm 46. I'm not really an adult in most respects of my life, but one thing I have grown out of is giving a flying one about stories of princes, princesses, castles, magic spangly hats and families being appointed by God to do a specific job for an infinite number of generations. I prefer sport. So
Olga, what about you? Did you watch the big interview?
Look, Prince Charles stopped taking my calls too, but you don't see me whining about it, okay?
And Jamie, what about this? Obviously, it's been everywhere, all across the world in the media. Do you think all of this could damage the royal family?
Well, look at the politicians. Like Keir Starmer said the accusations should be taken very seriously. Presumably he wants to see what that's like.
Susan, do you think this is going to damage the royal family?
I kind of find the whole lassie's greeting about a wedding quite relatable. I'm not going to be too hard on them, right? Because I think even if she did make Kate cry or vice versa, I don't want to perpetuate gender stereotypes, but all I'm saying is each and every one of my pals lost their minds when they were planning their weddings. And most of theirs were for 50 guests in a Best Western. So, do you know what I mean? The pressure was on. I remember my pal Katie, she was trying on wedding dresses. And she was having a meltdown because she didn't think they looked good, and we were all sitting there trying to make her feel better. And she came out the dressing room and I'm like, "You look lovely, Katie." And she's like, "Look, Susan, you don't wear Vera Wang. Vera Wang wears you." And I was like, "Katie, we're in Debenhams. Do you know what I mean? There's no Vera Wang in here, so just pipe down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there we go. Of course, Harry and Meghan's baby will be 8th in line to the throne, which is a great position just after Danny Dyer. There we go. The Meghan and Harry interview is the correct answer. Andy and Susan, well done. You get 2 points for that. Jamie, any thoughts as to what our second story might be?
Some of the lockdown restrictions have been eased quicker than expected.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the right answer. Well done. It is the news that up to 4 adults from 2 different households will be allowed to meet outdoors in Scotland as of this week. The previous rules only allowed outdoor meetings between 2 adults from 2 households.
But it's all political, like, with because he's coming up to an election, Nicola Sturgeon, and because it was an unreasonably harsh set of dates that she put in. So by putting them in first and then bringing them forward, she kind of looks munificent. It's like if your jailer says he's going to kick you in the teeth and all you get is a wedgie, you end up thanking them, you know. And I think that's kind of what she's doing. And it's like that time the Tories they took 1 penny off a pint. I mean, I saved 12p that night, but it's still nothing, you know. It's just tokenism.
I just don't really see the point in letting us go outside because it's Scotland and the weather. Do you know what I mean? I did go a socially distanced walk with my pal the last time restrictions got lifted a wee bit, and I had a brolly and she never. And we weren't allowed near each other, so it was quite good because I didn't need to do that thing where you have to share the brolly with somebody.
Olga, what about you? Do you think the easing goes far enough?
Well, I'm torn because I feel like we've all completely forgotten how to socialize. I can imagine myself going into Lush, getting overstimulated, having a small tantrum, and then just taking a nap.
We've missed Smelly.
Also, I kind of miss the guys at the gym that corrected my form. I hope they're okay. It's been a year.
Susan, what do you think about the easing? Does it go far enough?
No, I honestly just think just keep everybody in until they've got their vaccines. Just see it through. It's not that much longer. I think I could do another 6 months, definitely.
Wow.
What?
Wow. There you go.
Aye.
No.
But I just feel like the vaccine's within grasp and just stay in until that. Do you know what it is? I just don't want my sister to be able to ask me to babysit. That's what it is.
Andy, final thoughts, my friend. What would you like to remain restricted?
Well, I think they should shut the schools again, just because the worst thing to give children in the modern era is knowledge, information, skills and hope, because those are things they're not going to need for the rest of their lives. So shut the schools down, maybe just have drama lessons, because, I mean, that is the one skill kids of my kids' generation are going to need, is the ability to pretend that they are living happy and fulfilled working lives. So shut the schools down, just have drama classes on the common.
And at the end of that round, the teams are on 2 points apiece. Now, so much of our news is about public opinion, and this week we spoke to stand-up comedian David Kay and actress and proud Aberdonian Joyce Faulkner. So, Olga and Jamie, what story do you think David is on about here?
I'm not sure how folk are having trouble. I mean, I'm always thinking that's the thing. Maybe they're not sitting close enough to the window. This is important, especially during lockdown, because we couldn't get outside the same. So, I mean, I was in the Red Planet the other night. I don't think I'll go back. I didn't really enjoy it that much.
Olga, any thoughts as to what David might be talking about there?
I think he might be talking about this new research that suggests that daydreaming is good for you.
Absolutely right. Yeah, the clues were in there looking out the window, etc. Yes, it is the news that daydreaming can be good for you, but we need to practice it more, according to new research from the University of Florida. Being in a daydream state was shown to boost mental and physical health and even increase pain tolerance. So, daydreaming's good for you, Olga. What about this? Are you a daydreamer?
I mean, I'm a daydreamer in that I have anxiety.
Isn't that a day nightmare rather than a daydream, though?
Yeah. Well, on this, Andy, I don't know about you. This research said we should be daydreaming. Do you daydream?
I tried reading it, but I drifted off, to be honest, and spent most of the afternoon imagining I was a professional submariner trying to get a whale to fall in love with my submarine, which must have happened at some point. At some point, that must have happened. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it must have happened. But I think daydreaming should be compulsory. I think in Parliament, there's not enough daydreaming in Parliament. I think it should be forced upon this kind of compulsory. The Spanish have a siesta. I think we should have a national British daydream from 2 to 4 p.m. every day, and I think we'll all be the better for it.
I think you're probably right, to be fair.
Everybody knows how to daydream, and now it's just becoming another thing you need to do. Like, you know how the mindfulness meditation? Like, it's just kind of like, it's going to become like that. It's just going to be like, oh, here I need to go and daydream for like 10 minutes a day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I downloaded that Headspace app, like the meditation app. I done it twice or something, then I forgot about it. And then I got a message through saying my subscription was about to run out. So I tried to like get it done in a wanny. And I thought I'd be like floating about like the Dalai Lama, but it was pretty stressful. Pretty stressful.
Susan, I've never heard of anybody binge meditating.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it.
Like it's mindfulness, no Bridgerton. Olga, you mentioned about having anxiety, as many people have. Quite a serious subject, actually. Do you think that maybe daydreaming could be used to help mental health?
I don't know. I also think that whoever wrote this paper definitely just got caught dozing off in class and took it so far that they were like, I was doing research.
Yes.
But like when you think about it, I guess like great things do happen from daydreaming and napping, like Isaac Newton napping under a tree, Marie Curie was napping in an x-ray machine, Alexander Graham Bell was napping on a bell.
You don't need to fact check these, those are all true, right? And Andy, what about this argument made by the report that daydreaming is good for mental health?
Anything that's not reality has to be good, whether that's sport, fiction, film, daydreaming, whatever. So, in fact, fictional films about sporting daydreams are the ideal crossover, which I think makes Kevin Costner's Field of Dreams the high point of all civilization.
What is your top tip for good mental well-being? I'll start with you on that one, Jamie.
Don't get smashed on a Monday.
Olga, what about yourself in this one? What's your top tip for good mental well-being?
A Zoom pub quiz is never the answer.
Susan, what do you think about this? What's your top tip for good mental well-being?
I think definitely exercise because it makes you feel brilliant. I mean, I don't do it, but like, it's a good tip. I just kind of sit there and think about doing it. So I'm daydreaming, so I'm doing something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're getting it in a roundabout way.
Exactly.
Andy, final thoughts on this to you. What would be your top tip for good mental well-being?
Pessimism, I think, is absolutely crucial because you don't want to have your hopes and dreams crushed, so don't have them in the first place.
You should get smashed on a Monday then, Andy.
Yes, in Dr. Westgate's daydreaming study, volunteers were provided with a list of pleasant and meaningful things to think about. It was a very short list, and it just said, the school's going back. Yes, the positive effects of daydreaming is the correct answer. 2 points go to Olga and Jamie. Right, Andy and Susan, what do you think Joyce is talking about here?
Do not insult your customers' intelligence. It was a dreadful swap. They just could have got a much better look-alike. And I've seen plenty in Mary Hill that would have been quite convincing. After being at one that was a bit dodgy in Tenerife, I started to feel quite uncomfortable about going to them.
Is it this zoo in China that was accused of, in its wolf enclosure, yes, had something that was obviously not a wolf, but a domestic dog?
It is indeed the news that a zoo in central China was apparently caught trying to pass off a dog as a wolf. An employee said that the dog, which had been raised as a watchdog by the park, was only being kept there temporarily. Concerns were also raised about the zoo's big cat exhibit after the lions were heard meowing. Do you understand why they did this? Maybe they were just desperate to keep the zoo open.
Well, yeah, it's understandable. It's a tough time for businesses all around the world at the moment. And I think more to the point, if you run a zoo, you've got to be concerned about the morale of your animals, and they love the adulation. Zoo animals, they're like celebrities. You know, they can't get enough of being stared at, and they're like comedians. In fact, many zoo animals have taken to doing Zoom gigs and podcasts over the past year, but it's not as painful. They need the thrill of the live crowd.
What about you on this one, Susan? Do you understand why they might have done it, that they were desperate for the business?
Aye, it's like the desperation of the monarchy trying to be kind of relevant in the 21st century. It's like, it's no more ridiculous than people sticking a crown on an old woman and trying to pass her off as having magical blood, in my opinion, so...
Sticking a crown on an old woman.
That doesn't work on all old women, let me emphasise that.
Olga, do you understand, first of all, why they may have done it and their desperation to try and keep the zoo open?
I mean, yes, of course. And the dog is only the beginning. There's a horse, I hear, that's doing triple duty, posing as a zebra, a giraffe, and a penguin on Sunday.
I don't like zoos, so I think, I know they want to kind of like get people in, they pay the zookeepers, they look after the animals. I think sack the zookeepers, let the animals out, they get their freedom, and that town becomes incredibly COVID compliant, because you're not going to head out if you think you're going to get mauled by the cast of Madagascar.
I do think there should be one day a year, Des, where this is reversed. You know, if we keep animals in zoos, there should be one day a year where people have to go in the cages and the animals are allowed out to look at them. You know, role reverse, kind of like old style carnival. There should be no advance warning though, so you don't know on the day you go to the zoo. That could be that day. I'll make it more exciting.
I just want to see a monkey driving my car while I try and pull off the windshield wipers. Olga, what about you on this? Are you a zoo fan?
I don't understand why we have to go look at animals in cages where I can just look at all my ex-boyfriends locked up in my basement. To those listening, I'm kidding. Have you seen London Prices? I live in a flat. My ex-boyfriends are all in a closet.
Susan, what about you? Are you a fan of zoos generally?
I prefer an aquarium to a zoo, because nobody really gives a crap about fish, do they? Like, nobody... Like, I'm not being a
Especially
monster.
not the ones you can hire a rod in.
Like, hear me out here, right? I want to make my case. I'm not being a monster, right? I'm just basing this on my pet goldfish, Lorna. Because her name, I don't know why I called her Lorna. But I was just thinking about Lorna, and I was thinking, I used to just eat fish fingers right in front of my pet fish. Like, you wouldn't do that with your dog. You wouldn't eat dog digits in front of your dog. When I wrote that joke, I thought that's really no very good, and it doesn't make any sense, because dogs don't have digits. Right, but then I was like, hold on a minute, fish don't have fingers. And this is what happens when you daydream too much.
The reality of this story is that a child ran around the zoo trying to tell everybody it wasn't a wolf, but he was dismissed as the boy who cried dog. So there we go, a dog in wolf's clothing is the right answer, and 2 points go to Andy and Susan. You're tuned to a socially distant Breaking the News on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Andy and Susan, you're first this time. Who is this?
It's a heck of a tough job. I think I've more than done my bit. But yeah, influencing debate, I want to go and do that. Running a political party, I'm done.
That's Nigel Farage announcing that he's retiring from politics. Again?
And do you believe him this time?
No, I don't think Nigel's gone anywhere. I think Nigel's like COVID. Just when you're like, he's away, thank God. It's like, oh, here's a new strain of Nigel. You know what I mean? Like, he's online this time recording messages for 60 quid. You know what I mean? Like...
Yes, that is, of course, the voice of Nigel Farage. Nigel has said that he is quitting politics after resigning as the leader of the Reform UK party, and this time he means it. Farage claims he will not come back, as he did after 2 previous resignations, because Brexit won't be reversed. So Nigel Farage has been at the head of the Reform UK party, as well as leading the Brexit party. Nigel was also in charge of UKIP. That's right, meaning Nigel Farage has caused the end of more parties than the police during lockdown. But he's definitely going to quit this time, Andy, isn't that right?
Well, I mean, it is interesting, comparing him to COVID. The Kent variant of Nigel Farage has been particularly hard to control.
Olga, do you believe it, that Nigel means it this time?
No, of course not. The only thing Nigel Farage loves more than quitting politics is going back into politics.
Jamie, what do you say about Nigel Farage? He says he's quit, but he said this a couple of times before. Do you think we should believe him this time?
The big hint to me that he might be leaving politics is he said, I've done all I wanted to do, and at the end of the day, it was worth it. Which means he's after the L'Oreal job.
See, he would go for L'Oreal, but it sounds a bit too French, no?
Yeah, Lawrence.
Renaming it. Here's the thing, though. If Nigel Farage says he's quitting politics, what else is he going to do? Has he got any other skills?
Well, I can see him going into advertising because, whatever you think of him, he has a very good track record of getting people to want things they weren't previously that fussed about and definitely don't actually need. So those are the absolutely replicable skills.
Olga, what about you? Nigel Farage, is he skilled to do anything else after politics?
Well, there's a zoo in China that's looking for a new wolf.
We do have to say that Nigel Farage already has the first step on the next phase of his life. He has signed up to the video sharing website Cameo. For just under 64 quid, he can record a 2-minute personal video message for you. So I've done the maths. That means for just shy of $2,000, we could all have a whip round and pay Farage to shut up for an hour. If you're up for it, I'll put a plate round. Anybody? Andy, what about you? Nigel's on Cameo. If you could get him to record a message for you, what would it be and why?
I wouldn't get him to record a message for me. I'd get him to record a message for my grandchildren. That message would simply be, I'm sorry.
Just a straight apology. Can I just say as well, in terms of what Nigel's doing, being on the video sharing site Cameo, we are being quoted that it's £63.75 for a message. We don't know if that's an exact figure. We just saw it written on the side of a bus. So we're taking it as read. Yes, 2 points go to Andy and Susan. That was, of course, the voice of Nigel Farage. Right, Olga and Jamie, it's your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
Actors are desperate for complex characters, and the fact that she is as divisive as she is means that there's deep complexity there. So on that regard, I was excited to embrace exactly that.
It's Gillian Anderson, and I think she is in the news because she speaks in both an English and an American accent, depending on which side of the pond she's on, because she kind of was raised in both countries.
The actress was born in Chicago, then moved to London when she was 5, then moved back to the States at the age of 11. So she says she's actually bi-dialectal and speaks naturally in either accent, depending on the circumstances. To be fair to Gillian Anderson, she did a fantastic role in The Crown and said that she studied for the role of Margaret Thatcher by visiting her hometown of Grantham and closing down their local hospital. That is method acting for you right there. But this is the thing I wanted to ask you, Jamie, because now you're living in England. Have you had to change your accent?
I've not met anybody, Des.
This is a very good point, actually.
I've just been in the house.
And then she's an absolute amateur compared to you, Olga. Born in Russia, moves to the States, now living in the UK. So what do you make about how accents can change depending on where you are?
I'd say that it's not very uncommon for people to switch accents seamlessly. Dick Van Dyke did it all the time. Who's to say what is and isn't a British accent? Because I recently received a British passport. So technically, I'm now currently speaking in a British accent. And not only that, any iteration of a British accent that I do is technically a British accent because I'm a British citizen. So if I want to say, hello, breaking the news, it's very authentic.
I disagree with that totally.
What about you, Susan? Do you think people are obsessed with accents a bit much?
I went through a phase of pretending I was Welsh when I was 7.
What? Are you Mark Watson?
Hashtag relatable story. I was on holiday in Spain.
Of course, yeah.
And I was about 7 and I met these wee Welsh like pals, and I can vaguely remember it, right? My ma said I just started speaking in a Welsh accent for a fortnight, and I was like, well, why did you not just try and like stop me? It was so weird, and they were like, oh no, we just let you go on with it.
Well, here's a nice question, I think, to round this bit of chat off. What's your favourite accent and why?
I like the way Southern cowboys talk because I lost my virginity on a horse.
That was a Dolly Parton song, wasn't it?
Think so. Susan, I'm thinking you might say Welsh to this, but I'll ask the question anyway. What's your favourite accent and why, Susan?
Like most lasses, I like an Irish accent. Like you could be an absolute toad, but if you've got like an Irish accent, you're like 20% better looking.
What are you thinking, Andy? What would be your favourite accent and why?
Well, Spanish accent. I've just been on some nice holidays in Spain, and also it's a very satisfying language to speak if you can't speak it by just saying English words with a Spanish voice, like sausage becomes sausage. You can have a lot of fun with that whilst your children are trying to learn Spanish.
Do you know what disabled toilet is in Spanish?
I do not know.
It's incapacidado lavidado. Wonderful.
Yeah. Yes, Gillian Anderson is the right answer. And 2 points go to Andy and Susan. And it's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
I didn't feel a thing.
That was Kay Adams there listening to Susan's Welsh accent. Right, let's go. 32% of Scots are doing what to boost their health?
Not eating boosts.
32% of Scots are doing what to boost their health?
Is it eating the other 68% of Scots so they've got more access to food and medicine?
It is survival of the fittest, you're right, mate. 32% of Scots are doing what to boost their health?
Air frying the pizza crunchies instead.
Just lightly crisping. 32% of Scots are doing what to boost their health?
Buckfast enemas.
That's an ice hockey team, isn't it?
We didn't quite get there for the answer, so here it is. 32% of Scots are drinking more water to boost their health.
I didn't feel a thing.
Ah, there we go. That is our Clarkson, and Kay has Adams. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Olga Koch and Jamie McDonald. And commiserations to Andy Zaltzman and Susan Riddle. Yay. And we'll leave you with the breaking the news. Breaking news just in. A 24-year-old picky eater has revealed she lives in a diet of only beige food because she can't stand vegetables. Following the failed vote of no confidence in John Swinney, the Scottish Conservatives have come out in support of the girl, claiming we can't stand the Greens either. Lou Ottens, inventor of the cassette tape, has sadly died at the age of 94. His family said it was only fitting that he has gone over to the other side. And car maker Aston Martin has pledged to manufacture all of its electric cars in the UK from 2025, just in time for the next Bond movie, where James will spend half of the film driving about looking for a charging point. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye.